Hi, this is CT Education, and now we're going to go over some basic Python syntax, and we want to go over the indentation, the if statements, and conditionals, and things like that. So let's get started. The first thing we do is we go to our Start button, and we open up our idle. Idle, again, is the Python integrated development environment, and idle opens up in the shell. We can write basic code here, but we're going to write things into the new window. So I'm going to go File, and I'm going to create a new window here. So this opens up a blank window where we can put our code in. First thing we should know is we should know about comments. So comments are with this like this. These are all comments. Anything that starts with the pound sign, this is a comment, and these is what we want to write in here. These are the things that humans will read or we read to make our code readable, but the program ignores it. So just think of that as something the program ignores, but they're very important. And then the next thing we want to talk about is let's do an if statement, but let's start off with a variable. So let's go a variable. Let's just call our variable x. A variable can be basically any name, and they often end with a number like total1 or sum1 or x or y or a or b or c. And so I'm going to choose x because we're kind of in the math mentality. X equals 9. So now I'm going to use an if statement. And if is a conditional. It's a branching where you go in one direction or the other. I go if x is let's say if x is greater than 0, and then every time I have a conditional I put this colon there, and next I indent. Indent is everything that happens into the end. So let's do this. Let's go print 1. So I'm just going to print the number 1 here. Let's do print 2, and I'll explain this in a little bit. And then let's go back in here. Let's go print 3. Okay, so the indentation has meaning. So these two lines here, they're indented under the if statement. That means they are associated with the if statement. So here I'm going to say x equals 9 if x is greater than 0. So this is going to evaluate as true because 9 is greater than 0. So it's going to print 1, 2, and it's going to print 3. So let's go ahead and run this program. So the first thing I need to do is save it. Go save, and we'll just call this test1, and every time you save a file, it's saved as a .py. Python files are extension py here. So I'm going to save this file here, and let's go ahead and run it. So I can run it by hitting F5, or you can go down and hit this run here. And what do I get? I get 1, 2, 3. So what happens in the program? It's going to go x equals 9. So this is true, so I'm going to print the 1 and the 2. It's both the 1 and the 2 are associated with this x statement, and it's going to print 3. So let's change the program, and now let's make x equal to negative 10. So in this case, x equals negative 10 is going to go, is x greater than 0? It's going to be false, so it will not execute these two lines, and it will execute this line instead. So what are we expecting to see here? I'm going to Control S to save it, and then run it. And we can only see the answer 3 here because these two are ignored. Okay. So the other thing I can do is I can do an else statement, and an else statement else and 1, 2. So in this case, the else statement only executes if this first part is false. So in this case, x equals negative 10. So this part is going to be false because x is not greater than 0, and this execute statement here is going to be true. Okay, so let's Control S, save this, run this, and we get 3. Okay, but it will be different if I make this a positive number again, because there is going to be a slight difference in this logic with this else statement. So let's again make x a positive number, save this, and run it. What are we expecting to see? We only get 1 and 2. See, because now we got x is equal to 8, so x is greater than 0, so it's going to do these two that are associated with this line here, but it's not going to do this one because this is not true. If x is greater than 0, then it's going to do this, else do this. So just understanding a little bit of the flow chart, the logic of a conditional. So these are called conditionals. All conditionals have a semicolon at the end here, like that. And indentation is the other thing that's important because these are both indentated, that it's associated with this line. So if I put a line back here, then it's not associated with the else statement, or it's not associated with this because it's its own line. It's back to the front. We can have all nested indentation for a variety of statements. We'll learn that. And the other thing we need to know is about comments. Comments start here. They're ignored by the code, but they're important to describing our code so that you can understand what you've done in the past when you've written the code, or other people can understand your code as well. Okay, thank you.